Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by the Family Forest Carbon Program, where we help family forest owners get paid to improve the health of their woods. Don't forget, our next monthly check-in at Farm Credit Mid-America will be coming up on Wednesday, the 21st. Well, let's learn more about Envita.
Rita Frazier in to talk product and what's going on in the fields across the country. Exotic technology lead agronomist John Squire is with us.
Now we get a chance to work with Envita. That's been great.
Tell us more about the product.
Envita has the ability to form a symbiotic relationship with a crop. And it's not unique to any one crop, the spectrum of crops. So whether you put it on corn or soybeans or alfalfa or wheat or sorghum, and the list can go on, the bacteria is what fixes the nitrogen. And by fixing, I mean converts nitrogen in the air to a form the plant can use. So fixing nitrogen is not new to plants, but it is new to non-legumes. And this bacteria has the flexibility of being applied either through the leaves or through the roots onto the seed as it germinates. Anyhow, the bacteria goes into the plant multiple ways, then convert the nitrogen in the air and make that available to the crop. So I look at it, one is filling in the gaps. Two, Envita offers a third source of nitrogen. So we have fertilizer nitrogen that most farmers will put out. We have soil residual nitrogen that's in the soil that becomes available through biological processes. I won't go into that. So you have those two sources. And then a third source is the symbiotic relationship with that plant to fix nitrogen and make it available. And this nitrogen that's fixed, because it's inside the plant, is not subject to leaching or loss through typical processes of fertilizer nitrogen. It's a great sustainable practice to make that available to the plant.
It's John Squire with Exotic, AZOTIC. You can go to their website, exotic.com.
So what does USDA's first meat export forecast for next year show in the way of year-over-year trends?
USDA's initial glance at the 2026 calendar year meat export forecast reflect
the tighter beef supplies,
with World Agricultural Outlook Board Chair Mark Jekanowski noting the beef export forecast is down
just under 2.5 billion pounds, and that would be down 168 million pounds year over year,
with adjustments down for beef exports in 2025 as well. However, pork and broiler export forecast for this year and next reveal strength.
Pork exports at just over 7 billion pounds. We raised them 103 million pounds this month. That's for 2025. 2026 at about 7.14 billion pounds. That would be up 82 million pounds year over year. Broiler exports raised this month by about 103 million pounds to just under 6.6 billion. Our 2026 broiler export forecast is up 92 million pounds at 6.67 billion pounds.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
A recent study shows sampling and laboratory capacity to be major areas of concern in the event of an African swine fever outbreak in the U.S. Jason Galvis, research scholar at North Carolina State University, says the key to managing an African swine fever outbreak is in testing and containing the infection, but in areas with dense farm populations, getting those tests done in a timely way may be difficult. Galva said laboratory capacity was also a concern, as only specific labs have the ability to process samples. Canada's new agriculture minister, Heath MacDonald, said in an interview last week that tackling trade issues with China and the United States are his most pressing priorities. And the administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency says the most effective way to allow year-round E15 sales is through congressional action. The markets are next. Every time you use biodiesel, you're fueling more than your engine. You're investing in Ohio's farmers, reducing emissions and creating cleaner air for all of us. Did you know biodiesel adds 13% in value to every bushel of soybeans grown? That's good for farms, good for families, and good for the future. Drive with purpose. Choose biodiesel. Learn how at soyohio.org.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, July corn 447.5 up 4. December corn 441 3/4 up 6 1/4. July beans 10.50 3/4 up 3/4 cent. November beans 10.37 up 1.5 pennies. July wheat 5.29 up 4 cents. At the Mercantile Exchange, June cattle 212.97 up 75 cents. June hogs 99.25 down $1.07. August feeder cattle, $297.47, down 12 cents. This is the Ohio AgNet.